yeah, I can see the screen. There's a delay.
We could barely get over our heads though. We're so little.
Is that little sign? Oh, right back there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, good evening. It's Monday, the 22nd of June. This is Langley Adams Library Board of Trustees. We're being recorded live for Groveland TV. We have no public here. And call the meeting to order at 7:05. We're going to start with the reading of officer duties as requested by Kathy, that we have new officers that we should read from our bylaws. And then as I was skimming these new officer duties or revised officer duties, I realized that we may have to change something at our next town meeting with regard to the treasurer role, but we'll get there as we want to read them down. Do you want me to read them, Anne Marie, or do you want to
Sure. Do you
read them?
want to read them?
Okay.
Yep.
Since we have a quorum, we are missing two representatives tonight, but, so the officers of the board shall be as follows: the chairperson, the vice chairperson, the secretary, and the treasurer. The officers shall be elected by the board at the June meeting of the Board of Trusts, of the board, or the earliest meeting after the annual town elections. The officers shall not preside for more than two successive terms, with a term being designated as one fiscal year. The duties of the officers: each officer shall be responsible to perform the duties and responsibilities assigned to the position during the duration of the term. Each position will have the following duties: the chairperson, preside at all meetings of the board, prepare and distribute the agenda for all the board meetings, call special meetings of the board, post all meetings as required by law, appoint committees of one or more members, each for such specific business as the board requires. The vice chairperson, perform the duties of the chairperson at their request or in their absence. Other duties should be determined in support of the chairperson. The secretary, post all minutes as required by law, record and distribute minutes of all meetings of the board, prepare correspondence as directed by the board. And the treasurer, keep informed of financial status, funding sources, and needs of the library, record all funds from fundraising activities and provide funds to the town treasurer to be deposited in designated accounts, and ensure all expenditures have proper signatures. So that's the second point of the treasurer line about depositing to designated accounts, is something that we're just going to have to revise per the new instructions from the finance director at the next town meeting. And that's a simple sentence change that will.
What will the sentence change be?
I think it is as requested. We'll have to work that out, but something to the effect of giving funds to the library director to deposit in appropriate accounts, as we want the library director to be handling all the deposits so they can be recorded appropriately. So we'll have to work on the.
Oh, so it's just changing that we don't provide funds to the town treasurer?
We don't make the deposits, is basically what it is. The director makes the deposits.
I think
But that's-
part of that has
isn't
to
that what
do
it-
with the fact that I'm an employee, so I'm bonded. And if it's town money, town funds, then,
So I think
Oh,
actually,
I don't
it's
know.
basically removing the provide funds.
and provide funds to the library director to be deposited. Instead of to the town treasurer, it's to the library director
Okay.
to be deposited. So I
Okay.
think that's,
And, is there another point under the trustees?
Nope.
I mean, under the treasurer?
ensure all expenditures have proper signatures. That was it.
Okay. Did I miss trust funds?
That may be something that we have.
Well, let's keep informed of financial status, funding sources, and needs of the library.
So funding sources.
Funding
Yeah.
sources would be the
Funding
trust funds.
every account, I would think.
Right.
We didn't specifically call
Because
out.
that
list
seems to be
each
the,
one.
one of the primary things, but it is covered under trust.
I mean, we
I mean,
could
under
do,
funds.
we could do funding sources, comma, including trust funds. I mean, if we're gonna make one,
I think it was probably,
It was
Yeah, for
general
brevity.
for that,
Yeah.
yeah.
so.
Just a
Um,
question, when I do the minutes, do you want me to list out what you just read?
I think you just attach it.
Okay. So can you send me?
We'll
yeah.
do that, yeah. And then we'll just have to make sure that we come next May, April, whenever town meeting is May,
Yeah.
that we make these change. Before May, we give it to the finance director to add it to the warrant. And that simple library director instead of town treasurer. Since we've already voted on these things, I don't think we need to vote on these things again. I don't have any correspondence. Does anybody else have correspondence that received? Okay. So we're going to approve minutes for the last two meetings, the one on May 27th and the one on June 3rd.
Oh, I
Did
didn't
everybody have a
send those.
chance to?
I only saw the one for June
Third,
3rd.
I didn't send the 27th, I apologize.
Okay. So we will table the 27th until our next meeting in July. Did everyone have a chance to read June 3rd?
Yeah, so.
I was here, and my name's not there. I was present. But not the other one.
Anne Marie, can you see the line that I found odd?
Yeah, there was actually, where it says Kathy Prunier has requested that Ann discuss the closing, the institution of savings account was had as, so it
Right.
was an incomplete sentence. So
Okay.
we just need to figure out, that sentence should say, Kathy Prunier has requested that we discuss,
We discussed the closing of the Institute of Savings account.
And I don't even know whether we voted to close it.
That's actually on our agenda for tonight.
Okay.
So
then-
we didn't vote to close, it was just a discussion.
okay, so it should say Kathy Prunier has requested that we discuss the closing.
It might be at our next meeting.
Yeah. At the,
of the
June 22nd meeting.
22nd.
Second meeting, yeah.
Yeah, I think I wrote it and then I deleted it and I forgot to
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah, and I read it,
Fill it in.
yeah.
So what does review the norms of the meetings mean? The first sentence, what is a norm of a meeting?
that's when we went around to talk about our new rules of
Okay, so
meeting.
norms is a term. meaning-
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah.
sure of that.
So it was, our poster, well, I have them here if we, about one person talking at a time, raise your hand, or
Okay.
ask permission, be
Oh,
early, start on
so
time.
okay,
Those are our norms,
all right.
that we all agreed that we would,
I
our
just
ground
didn't know-
rules.
Ground rules.
Ground-
Ground
I'm going,
rules.
what a norm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, got it.
and we can change that to ground rules if you feel.
No,
Okay.
I just me, I'm not knowing what that meant.
HR business lingo. So what were the rest of them? You got halfway through.
The norms.
Oh, you want me to read-
We're supposed to read them every meeting, especially until we get
Oh, okay.
used to it. I thought we said that when we voted
yeah.
on them.
We were gonna have the poster up, so we
Oh,
didn't have to
yeah.
read
I
them.
actually
but we
made the
don't-
poster, I got a really
We don't
big
have them,
poster
but
now.
I can read them. So, one person talking at a time, ask for permission, or raise your hand. Raise your hand, please, you don't have to ask permission. Be early, start on time, end on time, follow our agenda, no personal comments, letting people complete their thought, no interrupting, stay on task. Oh, we need a taskmaster, so I'll do that in a second. Assume good intentions, be professional, everybody gets a turn. We're always looking forward, we're not looking back, be kind. I think I just read those twice, so. We said we were gonna adopt Robert's rules of asking for the floor, so we're just raising our hand works for that, and adopt an order keeper or a taskmaster. So we'll just bring our rules the next time, if we're outside of the library, we'll just have to remember that. Anne, do you wanna be our taskmaster for today? Keep us following the agenda?
Sure.
Okay. So can I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes of June 3rd as amended?
Okay, there was one more place, and Marie, do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay,
I mean,
if
let's
you
look through,
remember,
yep.
There was another place that I didn't understand. Oh, we didn't say, we had a discussion of the election of the new officers. We didn't say whether the vote, we need the piece that says unanimously voted.
Right, because we have a
Yes, no,
discussion nomination, so
yeah, and then close with a vote.
voted.
Nomination, yeah, who seconded?
I had that on
The
my-
moment. What?
Seconded by,
Somebody,
Here, we'll have to look
check
back.
the notes,
Check it here.
check the electronic or your paper notes.
okay, so I'll get that seconded
Okay.
by, and unanimous.
I don't recall.
I don't know.
Now I make a motion for them to be accepted as
As
amended.
amended.
And go back
Second?
and get the data.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carlos seconds.
Any
Yes.
opposed, any abstaining?
It's hard to be the second.
I know.
And now I have one question, just to clarify. Once these are, I amend, then I make a copy. I give one to you, bring one to town hall, and email to
Denise.
Denise.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we will go over the minutes of May 27th at our July meeting. The treasurer's report. Carlos,
I have no report because I was unable to meet with Lori because she had to leave or
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
So we're scheduled to meet sometime next week.
and I do know, just as a follow-up with a meeting that we just had with Denise, that they are working on the signature cards right now, so we're gonna have Barbara come in, sign off on the account, and then Carlos, if you've not already signed, to be
Oh, right.
with Denise on the signature card.
Yeah, that's the piece that.
That's the piece, okay.
We're waiting on, for that one, apparently we didn't get the signature cards. So Lori reached back out to the gentleman and he said he was gonna follow up and make sure that we got them.
So we had trust funds again, and on this was following up on closing the accounts at the Institute for Savings. So that's something we want to discuss further after our last meeting of, I think it was 75,000
$1,800 and something dollars.
coming out of that and then going back into citizens,
Exactly where
into
it
the
came out,
funds,
and
into the
each
funds that they came out.
such fund.
Yeah,
And, sorry.
go ahead.
And mostly I think it was because we realized such little amount of money
There's no interest.
from it. Where's the benefit? The one thing that I wonder about, is it easier to think about all of the trust funds, before we move them back in and then have to, if we want to think of some other way to manage them or think about a money management how to
Right.
fund, because did you send out those?
I didn't have a chance yet,
Okay.
that's on my.
So, do we want to hold off on moving them back in order to discuss with other, putting it out on the directors and other trustees listservs to see what other ways people manage the money?
Right.
Amy had brought up, should we, get a fund manager or nonprofit? I'm sure there are people that advise boards on how to get the best return
Right.
for our money. So is it better to wait on that or to put it back and then go from the trusts?
Very limited as to what the Attorney General's office allows public funding to be invested in. It's not our choice always. It comes under the Attorney General's office.
The Attorney General's office of the town.
No,
The
Attorney General.
state.
Of the state.
State,
Yeah.
Massachusetts. It was very obsolete the last time I saw it, but you come under that. I think at this point, we're much better off to get the money back into the individual funds that it came from.
And then
Before there's
start
none
that.
of us here and nobody, there's no follow through. I think that we really need to do that. It's,
I would just move to holding off until we know exactly what needs to go where, since.
Oh, we do know.
Do
We
know
have
We do
that.
know. Yeah.
That list.
Because
Yeah.
Barbara had it,
Exactly
when
what
Barbara
came
was a trustee, she did it and she has all the percents. showed
She
us
does.
that. She showed us that the
Yeah.
last time.
So when the money was taken out, she made a list. This was taken out of here to
I
put into
apologize, I have to go get a tissue.
citizens.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you know what? I have my
Already
phone.
unused.
So is this in,
She's putting it back in.
so is this in the paperwork that Lori's gonna give me?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the last treasurer's report that was
Yeah.
given out, it showed 5,000 from this fund, 4,000. The only thing that
Oh,
would
no,
have to be.
yeah, I saw that, but I'm saying what was exactly taken out of what
So
account?
maybe,
Oh, excuse me.
It-
It
It's
would-
all listed
it's
right
all
here,
listed
what was
there.
taken out.
Yeah. The only thing that would have to be figured is the interest, 800, I think it was $24
Yeah, just that.
interest that is gained. How much of that percentage-wise goes back into each
Into
fund?
each.
And then you have it clean. It's very confusing right now.
And I think it's something that you can work with Lori and Barbara
Yeah.
offline.
Oh,
And
definitely.
if we vote that you should move it, then you can,
seems like it would make
Figure out the
sense though
percent.
for Carlos to be able to work with Lori and them and figure out what to do and then talk about it next time.
in report.
Where you could vote to move it or not, or how to move it or whatever, how the best way to move it might be.
Well, it has to go back into the funds that it came from.
I'm just saying, if you let Carlos sort of like have a little bit of time to look at it and,
Yeah, oh, sure.
you know, educate himself about it.
Yeah, that's what I was getting
Yeah.
at, so I could
Oh, yeah.
say, yes,
I don't mean it has
these,
to be done right away, but I think it has, the intention has to be to put that back into the funds that it came from.
Right.
That was gifted to the library.
Yeah, it always has to go back to its
Right.
original funds, right?
I just wanna make sure we're putting the right numbers.
All right,
Right.
so why don't we table this till July, knowing that this is the
Goal.
step that we're gonna make, our goal is to get it all back in, divide up the interest
And part of
accordingly.
the problem
and
too
then-
is it's almost taken from principal.
Right,
That's part of the problem. So what was taken from principal has to go back to principal. What was taken from expendable amounts would have to go back to expendable amounts.
so I think maybe if you could work with
Mhm.
Barbara especially, and Lori to clear that up, make the list.
And
then we
maybe
can-
to make it a full-fledged conversation, maybe you can look into what the Attorney General does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What restrictions that it has that we might be able to, and then if we put the listserv
Yeah,
questions
I'll do
out,
that this week.
then we'll have a full-bodied discussion.
All kinds of
Yeah.
things to
Yeah.
look at.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, that's good, because I think it deserves that.
Right.
Right, and it might be, like over this year, we would like to, by the end of the year, we'd like to come to a resolution
Right.
about this. Because it might take us a while to get somebody in,
Right, as a money manager.
yeah, to, give us an opinion or, give us whatever,
Be careful of what they charge, how they charge.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
There's
right.
not enough money.
That's
It's
something
not
we'll-
enough money to pay anyone to handle that. And it's not enough money that most people would take that on, so.
It's something we'll
That's
need to
true.
look into.
Yeah.
How best to handle
Right.
it.
And I'm not sure we can have we can even pay somebody, like, can we hire somebody? I don't know.
It's not enough money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what.
But I can get that
Can't be
information and then from that,
Not that much, it's not
So-
that big of an account, but,
You're talking
Looks
about,
juicy to me.
Right,
but a lot of money managers, they
Yeah.
take a percentage of what you earn or,
Yeah.
this day and age, it's very little that you, yeah.
we're not earning much.
Nobody is in that sense.
All right, so we move on to the director's report. Amy, do you want to go through? There's copies here on the table if anyone didn't get to them, didn't get one.
do you want me to read this out, or?
Or just go over the
basics.
basics.
Okay, well, we have our monthly statistics. I finally went to a workshop to figure out how to do that. So this month we had, what I have here is May and then the fiscal year to date. So for library visits, there's 2,807 for the month of May, and altogether, year to date, it's 38,711. So it just goes down like that. We have 16 new patrons this month.
Are those new library cards? Is that how you're
Yes.
counting them?
Yeah, I was going to say, how do we know what they're gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
Is that kindergarten? No.
No,
Wow, 16.
this is the month of May also, so kindergarten was June.
In June.
But, so in May, we had 6 programs, totaling 825, 8.25, 8.25 hours, 73 total attendance. We didn't have any young adult programs yet. Children, we had 17 programs that accounted for 13.25 hours and 156 total attendees. And then I have it broken out, children and adults. Circulation, for May was 3,521. Now, I'm not sure, I have to double check on the materials, that's why I put a question mark there. I did that a while ago, and now I'm not sure what exactly I was counting. So whether it was just books, which are listed below, adult at 1,037, YA 161, children's 1,178, because I'm not sure if that total, well, anyway, I have to figure that out for next time. But I got the overdrive.
Well, it's gotta be more than just books, because that doesn't
Right.
total that.
Right, but I'm not sure exactly how it breaks down. So anyway, for Overdrive, it shows that 55 audio downloads were made, 101 ebooks, and 2 videos. Freegal, which is the music, we had, I think this is the annual, not the, this is year-to-date, actually. 1,682, which comes out to be $1.10 per download, because we paid $1,850.55 for it. Next year it's going up, and we'll talk about that later. So ILL, we requested 1,193 items, and we fulfilled 893, which is pretty good.
Mhm.
Very good.
The computers for adults was 99. We checked out the iPad twice within the library. Museum passes was 12 total, and it's broke out below. Under staffing, I have, there's no new staff. There will be some changes in staffing for summertime. We're losing a couple pages, and my hours are gonna change, because now I don't have to leave at 2 o'clock or 2:30 every Tuesday and Thursday, pick up my son, because he's not in school. But anyway, so just to summarize, I've been working 37 hours, give or take, mostly more, except for the weeks of June 4th and June 11th, when I worked less hours. My current hours are listed Monday and Wednesday, 1 to 8, Tuesday, Thursday, 9 to 2:30, Friday, 9 to 5, and occasional Saturdays. I do foresee my schedule changing in the near future because of, like I said, employees shifting hours, and I don't have to leave at 2:30. And I will keep Jen and Lori and Denise apprised of any changes. Yeah.
So so the pages, are we losing them like forever, or are they coming back?
Well, Oriana is leaving, she's going to college. Sarah is taking a course this summer, so she's gonna be gone for a couple of weeks, but Oriana's gonna fill in for her. And I have offered a page position to another volunteer who's discussing it with his parents, and will get back to me.
Great. I forgot Oriana was a senior.
Yeah.
I must be adding with 37 hours, but the hours don't add, they add up to.
Yeah, these are the hours that I'm there when the library is open,
Yeah.
okay? So I'm there actually quite a lot of time when the library isn't open, like I get there like at 8, or a lot, especially on Monday and Wednesdays, I'm
Oh,
usually
okay,
there at
okay.
10.
Yeah, we
Like
asked
this
her-
morning, I was there at 8,
Right. We
but
asked
we
her
didn't open till 1.
to track the hours that, when the library is open, which is most important,
Right,
that
exactly.
we know when she's there, but then she said she's
Because
in at
other-
8 and then here till 9 tonight.
Right. So, and also I've been going to a lot of meetings and trainings that sometimes happen earlier in the morning before 1 o'clock when the library opens and things like that. So, and Denise gets my schedules and everything. Okay, so staff training, I went to an ARIS workshop, last week. Last Friday, excuse me, Amanda, Darcy, Stephanie, and I all went to a training on technical services over at the MBLC offices. And we're shifting staff roles and responsibilities a bit, and Amanda, and mostly Amanda, is going to be overseeing all the technical services. Stephanie will assist her, and Sarah, the page, has been responsible for processing and labeling and stamping and things like that, but that's gonna go over to Amanda and Stephanie while Sarah's gone. And we're all working on sort of a flow chart, so we know when something comes into the library, who's checking it in, who's responsible for giving me the packing slip, and who knows, like, where that book is every step of the way, and that would be Amanda. But we're sort of working through that, sort of like that flow of where the book, how the book goes through the library.
Can I ask, how many hours a week is Amanda now?
She's 18 and a half. All the assistants are 18 and a half or less.
Oh, yeah, because
And,
I thought she jumped down.
no, actually, she, not Amanda, Lauren dropped down. She's not gonna work on Fridays.
Well, I
in the
thought
summer.
Amanda had changed hours because she was working in.
Second job.
She is, but, we adjusted her hours,
Nice.
which worked out great. Okay, and then projects that we're working on, the policy committee, we haven't really been able to meet, but I did get this book all figured out, with little tabs on all the different policies that we need to go through.
And you just
Um,
have to invite me again to my home email.
Okay,
And then,
Okay.
and maybe you can get Barbara in to show her how to do,
I know, I was hoping she'd be here tonight.
yeah,
but
Google
no.
Docs.
Okay, yeah. I have written a policy regarding museum passes that I'd like to go over with you and Barbara. Preservation grant, I submitted the request for payment with a due date for the final plan to be done by July 18th, 2015. So that's what I'm gonna be working on. Long-range planning, I spoke with Cindy Roach, who's the head of library advisory and development at MBLC, and she advised that we file for an extension of our long-term plan and suggests we aim for a completion date in the spring. She strongly suggests hiring a consultant to help us with our plan. And we have a person who's been recommended by several library directors in the area. And friends, so,
And what would that price be?
I don't know, I
Yeah,
have to
that's-
get a quote from her.
Now, that must be something new, because when we've done long-range plans before, nobody's ever been hired.
Well, because of our past situation, she really strongly suggests that we hire a consultant to help us with our long-range plan.
When we were looking back at the notes, we saw that there were people brought in from
MBLC.
BLC, but they looked like they were contracted. So I have to look again and see.
I don't
Well, when I talked to Cindy, she said no, that MBLC doesn't really, do that anymore.
So there's a change in their policy, so
Yeah,
contracted.
don't
Now
have
we
s-
have to contract it
they
out.
don't have staff for that, and, so anyway, like I said, she just said that we should, hire a consultant. There's several consultants out there. One of them is, there's several consultants out there, and we can call them and have them come in and take a look and stuff.
Now, does this mean if we put in for a delay till the spring, that we're not allowed to apply for any grants until? this is-
She said that if I kept in touch with her, monthly reports about how we're doing with our long-range plan, that then we could file for an exception and still be able to apply for grants.
She also said she wouldn't accept our long-range plan if we submitted it in October.
Because that's the
it's so
original
far
reason.
not-
Well, I originally called her to ask, to get some help with that, some advice on that, and she just, the first thing she said is like, there's no way you could have it done, and I wouldn't accept it even if you did, so. And that's then when she said we really should hire a consultant, but. Yep.
So I was thinking, does hiring a consultant come under, like the town where Denise is the procurement? Do we have to, if we go out to, seek bids and stuff like that? I don't,
We'll have to find out.
yeah.
I'm wondering if this is such a specific
that it might,
thing,
yeah.
and it's only a certain number of people that do this type of work, that you know, we may have to call 3 of them and say, what's your rate?
Yeah. I'll
Um,
Put in,
But we can ask her, definitely.
Yeah,
yeah, you know,
And then where does it come from?
yeah, Cindy said it should be able to come from the state aid.
Paid from state aid.
Did we have, no, were we supposed to review, or has that been done, or are we looking ahead to that? For the survey?
We have been chatting about it, but
Yep.
because we now know that we don't have to do it right this second, that we wanted to meet, share the news with everyone, that we didn't have to do it right now, but we do want to get it out by the end of the summer. So the survey committee is going to meet. We've got a draft that looks really, really good, and we'll get it published.
actually,
Yes.
that was one of the things that wasn't on the meeting minutes, is it who's on the committees?
No, because
It's a subcommittee. I don't think you need to.
we were talking
Okay.
about that she had requested people volunteer for the
Yeah,
committees.
and then, yeah.
Of
that was enough
strength, where your
covered,
strengths
yeah.
are.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get to committees in 1 second here on that. Do you want to finish with Friends?
Yeah, I just want to finish with Friends. So, there's a gentleman in town who has, gotten us a bin, and it is down at the Century Copy Specialists in town, and it's a bin for recycling, Eco-Smith recycling bin. And on the side of it, this man's business model is that he will put these bins in, and a percentage of what he earns from the contents of the bin, he donates to a local nonprofit organization.
Nice.
And so, we are gonna have that, the benefit of that, and they will, determine, they're gonna make a deposit into the donation account, and the man who set this up and the man who owns the Century Copy place in town, I figured we could let them decide what the purpose of the funds should be, you know, because we need to earmark, like, this donation is for books, or this technology, or whatever. And we're gonna have a ribbon, they wanna have a ribbon cutting event at the print shop on June 30th at 10:30,
What is June 30th, the day of the week?
Tuesday. And so, everybody's welcome to come with your discarded clothing. It
So that's
doesn't
what
have to
it
be
is,
good, it could be torn, it could be painted, it could be anything, it just can't be wet.
So it's more clothing, textile.
It's textile, yeah.
No.
And this man who does this, the Eco Smith Recycling Company, is a local, business, a family-owned business, and he comes around, you know, it's not gonna be like one of those ugly bins that the stuff is all pouring out of. So, and it's really cute.
I saw, so Century is where
the print
Phoenix
shop.
used to be?
Yeah.
So it used to be Phoenix, and it now has a new name?
That's what was gonna be my
Wait a
question
minute,
as
you know
well.
what?
I've seen a bin at,
Is the name, is this man's name that I have in here the right name?
I don't know.
Uh,
So Century Copy, I don't know
Actually, you
where
know what?
Century Copy.
Is that what, that was?
I thought it was Phoenix too,
Yeah,
so I think it
Phoenix
is
Printing,
Phoenix.
yeah.
I don't know. I pulled this, business card out and it was the same person's name, so, okay, but I think it is Phoenix, I'm sorry.
Because
Correction.
I saw a bin going,
Yeah.
because I'm a big recycler, so I'm like.
Good. Yeah, so thanks for that, yeah.
So, of course, that, he'd be
And-
the one that's collecting and he would determine where it would go.
Actually, the person that runs the Eco Smith Recycling, he, you know, takes all the stuff, gives it to somebody. They pay him per pound, and then he takes a percentage of that and gives a donation to the library.
Yeah, the high school music program is doing it with the same company,
Mhm.
and, you know, it's been working out, so.
Great.
And do they have a sign that proceeds or?
It says, you
To
know,
Langley
proceeds
Adams.
go to the Langley Adams Library, yeah.
Oh,
Great.
that's awesome.
I know,
That's,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
So you're letting them decide what the purpose is, or are we gonna say it goes to our general
Well,
fund of,
when we
you know,
have a
us to choose,
donation, well,
us to
when,
decide?
I think when
Okay.
they make a donation, they should get to choose.
yeah,
What they-
that's kind of what I mean.
right, so-
We can make a suggestion, of course, like what do we need, you know? And I'm sure they'd be amenable to that, but, you know, I thought I talked to them about it.
I think same person.
It's not, then I
Yes.
must have
Anderson.
so mixed up.
Anderson, if it's,
I was gonna say,
The first name is the same,
Anderson
though.
is Phoenix.
yeah, Anderson, yeah, it's Mike
Okay.
Anderson.
But
Is
his
it
last
Jim
name's
Anderson?
first-
Anderson.
You weren't supposed
Mr., well, he's the,
I didn't say that name out loud.
There you go.
Anyway, I'm done.
But I have one question about the director's report. We skipped over the part that said we are considering reverting to the Dewey Decimal System
Oh,
and
yeah.
adopting another
Yeah.
alternative such as Dewey Light.
Oh, yeah,
That was a
sorry.
huge conversion when that was done. It
Right.
took weeks and weeks and
I'm
weeks
sure.
of physical labor.
It'll take
So I'm
weeks and
wondering
weeks and
if that's
weeks
something we
again.
need to kind of push ahead after the long-range plan is done.
Yeah, we're just considering it, thinking about it right now. There's no action being taken. But we've been discussing it, staff has been discussing it. I've been discussing it a little bit with other directors who use BISAC and who don't use BISAC. So anyway, that's just, it's pretty far down the road.
I don't think it caught on as big as it was thought
We
that
hoped,
it was going to
yeah.
be.
And, and unfortunately, it seems like there isn't a real there isn't real continuity in the collection either. Because sometimes you really have to wonder, like, why is this book in this department and that, and whatever. And a lot of that has to do with who's cataloging. It can be very subjective. So that's why there is a system like that, it's called Dewey Light, and it's sort of you use the Dewey number to put it in its subject heading, and you keep the Dewey number on it, but you might have like pets, and it would be cats and dogs and goldfish and what have you, but it would still have the Dewey, they would be arranged in Dewey number within that category
Of pets,
of pets.
yeah,
Right, so you could still have a sign that says pets,
right.
but right now we have something that says dogs, and then there's no organization within dogs. It's just like, if you want a book about dogs, you have to read every single title to find the book you want. So if you're looking for something specific, it doesn't help you. Like, I was looking for Rin Tin Tin, and like, it was like, okay, we have 35 books that say dogs, but so I had, you just have to look through the whole thing. Anyway, we can do better than this, I think, but it is a long-term, goal, and it will take a lot of thought, not something you just do willy-nilly.
Cool. Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you, Amy. Going down, Amy did talk about long-range plan. We just wanted to just remind people of the subcommittees that those that you decided to join on with your strengths is that you do need to post meetings. The subcommittees all have to have a chair and a secretary. Minutes need to be taken, minutes need to be posted. And then when we're done with the subcommittee process, the committee needs to be dissolved. So you do have to have that final closing meeting to dissolve your committees. So please just keep that in mind when you decide when you're getting together. You cannot post bulk meetings. You can't say you're gonna meet every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. You actually have to post individual.
I wanted to do that.
You can post them all at once. You can send in 8 meeting requests. They just have to be separate. So then they can follow up with minutes and what have yous.
Oh, the other thing I didn't do is the warrants.
You want to go through the vouchers now? I think everybody signed them. It looks like we have all
Yeah.
the signatures on them.
I didn't.
Okay, we
But
have them
Do you
here.
need a signature? Yeah.
No, they're full, but if
Okay.
you'd like to look at them, they are here.
Yeah, let me just, so how do you usually do this? You read out,
So I read out the warrant number and the total.
okay, so for warrant number 1553, state aid, do you read this, what it's for?
No,
No,
just the
Okay.
total.
Just
The total was $378.98. I'll pass that down to Laura.
Okay, can I stop you 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
You don't
This
have to,
doesn't need to be on the minutes, I can just say
the
red
warrants
warrants.
were red,
Okay, just double checking.
Simplifies life.
yes.
Warrant 1553 from the donation account was $628.44. And warrant 1553 from the town appropriated funds. Our general operating budget was $1,927.08.
Okay. Did you want to do credit card use, or do you want to skip over that right now?
We don't need to deal
Okay.
with that right now.
We had just had a discussion about that. We're gonna just take that off the agenda. The end of fiscal 15 budget review
Somehow,
is not on here.
it's not on here, and I worked all day on that. Let's see. Where is that? I don't know what to do. It's on my computer, I guess.
Okay, can you share that with
Okay.
us?
I vote we take a few minutes and let Amy go back and get it.
Yeah, because we need to see it.
Yeah,
We're at
yeah,
that
yeah.
point.
I think so too.
So,
Good.
yeah, I
I'll be right
think,
back.
I think it's,
Yeah.
we need
Yeah.
to see it.
We'll pause for a minute. Little light hold music.
You can put us on hold, Charlie. Thank you. We'll talk social.
May I see?
Oh, I just saw this. So I don't need to sign, I guess.